Hey there, I'm Joelle Anthony, and we are here to talk to you about our 2022...
Nope.
What year is it?
2019.
2019. Hi there, I'm Joelle Anthony, and we are here to talk to you about our 2019 Range Runner camper. Primarily the upgrades that we have done to this. Now what?
Hey, so this is really kind of cool because, well, not cool. We bought this Range Runner last September. It's 2023. We were planning on taking a massive road trip after I sold my flower shop in February in this Range Runner. So I've been spending the last 3 months doing modifications to it, and now we're selling it. We're selling it because we're selling our home in Florida, and we are going to become nomadic, and we're going to live out of a camper. We've got our hearts and minds on a Heartland North Trail ultralight is what we're thinking, but that's not going to work. The Range Runner is not going to work for us. However, because I know that the Range Runner community and the Runaway Camper community is a huge community with a lot of people, I thought before we sell this tomorrow to the woman that's coming to buy it, that we could go through and I could show you a few of the upgrades that we've made on this camper to make it more road friendly as far as we were concerned for what we would need. So I'm excited to show that to you. Let's go ahead and we'll do a walk around. So the first thing that you're going to notice is the spare tire is now mounted on the side. So this 2019 model has the wood composite with the aluminum or Azdel, I'm not sure which it is, overlay. But I talked to the folks at Range Runner and they gave me some suggestions on actually putting this spare tire on there. I wanted to get it out from underneath the camper and get it on the side, more like a Jeep or an overlanding or an off-road vehicle. So I mounted this through with 1/2-inch bolts that are threaded all the way through. That was on purpose, all the way down, and we sealed it off with a special caulk sealant from Lowe's, and I'm going to put a link to everything that I bought in the description below. So this is mounted here, and what I'll do is I will show you on the inside what we've done. You can see on the inside I put 3/4 inch plywood, and I used carriage bolts and dragged those through by tightening that down. So I have a 3/4 inch piece of plywood on the other side to help support that wall so that this tire doesn't rip through. So that's modification number one. One of the things that I really loved about this is something I didn't do, but I do want to show you this. These are LED light bars that are paired into the trailer lights down below. Now I've seen a couple of people that have put these on. This is something I was grateful that was on there. I would also put these on if I didn't have these on a Range Runner or any of their models if I bought it from the factory. The tail lights are so low to the ground on this, maybe 12, 13 inches, 14 inches off. These are ultra bright, easily available on Amazon for like 20 bucks for the pair. They wire directly into the tail light with instructions. So these run with the blinker, the running lights, and the brake light. Highly recommend these. These are a great addition. I've tested it out at night and they are so bright. You definitely want these auxiliary lights on. And in fact, on any other camper that we purchase, you can bet those are going to be on there. So let's go around to this side of the camper. So there's a guy, his name is Eric. Eric Enjoys Earth is his channel. I'm not going to claim credit for this, but I actually loved it so much, his idea for these tables, that I have built a couple of tables. Now, this is C channel or J channel or whatever. I'll put a link in the description below, but these provide the base for my tables. I love these. This is available Camping World. It's an adjustable table leg. This comes out just like this. And I made this to go to the absolute highest. This hooks right into this C channel. Comes down. Now I have a table for underneath the awning. What I really loved is the concept of doing this ×2, because I was going to put an 11-pound propane tank right here, and I was going to have my cooking space out here under the awning. So I'm going to show you what that was going to look like before we made this decision to move on to a different camper. All right, so what I did is I've got a couple of workspaces. I can cook here, and then the way that I designed this, Joelle and I can take our camping chairs and actually sit here underneath the awning should we want to have dinner. So I thought those were a great addition, great addition. So let's go around to the front. Most of the Range Runner campers, well, not most of them, but you can buy as an add-on a front cargo basket. That wasn't enough for what we were going to need if we were going to live on the road for 4 to 6 months out of this camper. So I bought this weather guard box off of Facebook Marketplace, and I put it just far enough ahead of the air conditioning unit that it would open up fully. So this thing is massive. You of course would have to be careful on your tongue weight related to how much you're putting on. With the basket, they just screw those in with self-tapping screws. With this, I actually use 3/8 inch bolts, stainless steel bolts with heavy duty fender washers on them, and I went down all the way through in 4 locations. So this is actually bolted on with Loctite on the bottom nuts, holding this on in 4 different places. So this box would store our water, some of our chairs, our hose, our makeshift shower that we've made. This is our shower that we had made, among other things. So I added this weather guard box for more space. All right, so one of the other cute little additions that I put, this is entirely stainless. I got this on Amazon. This is a ladder holder. Somebody asked me what this was when it was listed for sale. I have a Gorilla step ladder that I was going to use with this, and this ladder holder is stainless steel. This goes through with 1/4 inch bolts. These are all stainless, coming through the inside, through the wall, again sealed with that same caulking that I'll have a link to in the description below, primarily because I can't remember what it's called and I have to go home and look at it. But that was the caulking and sealant that the folks at Range Runner recommended that I use for any of this. I added a MaxxAir Fan, DC powered vent fan, and again, I watched a couple of folks that had put these in, and I think it's a great idea. I added that MaxxAir passive vent in the back. That passive vent back there allows you to have your MaxxAir Fan on without having to have your windows open. And one of the things that we were thinking about as we were out traveling is the fact that as we've been on the van life circuit for quite some time, one of the things that we've noticed that would happen is if it starts raining and blowing, if the windows are open, it's coming in. The great thing about this system is that passive air vent allows you to pull air through, and you're constantly circulating air. So I believe that that would have made it significantly more comfortable for us overall at night without actually having to open the windows. And that was one of the reasons that I built that addition. All right, so on the inside of the unit here, one of the things that we did is we put a 100-watt solar panel on the rooftop, and along with that solar panel, I have the M connectors parallel, and I have another 100-watt that I can plug into there when we're on location. So if we're parked in the shade and the solar panel up there isn't getting a lot of shade, I've got 30 feet of cable attached to a flexible solar panel, or you could use a suitcase panel if you wanted to, and I can put that in the sun to further up our ampage. Now down here, I have a spot down here. Here is the Jackery 500. Now I'm using this, I know a lot of people are using Blue Eddy, and they really like the Blue Eddy among some of the others. I think Blue Eddy is about the best because of the batteries that they use, but I already have this. So this is why we're using this. I already have this Jackery, and this is going with the sale. We're giving it away with the sale. That would be that. This I got on Amazon. This was going to be what we were going to hold our Kindle with. Joelle and I are not big into TVs. We're not big into watching TV a whole lot, but we did want to be able to watch some downloaded shows or whatever should we get stuck. And that actually has worked out real well. It holds our Kindle. That's what we were going to use to hold the Kindle. That was going to be something that we're actually going to include that with the sale, but that worked out real nice. Link in the description below. This is the mini heater that we were going to use. This is a 300 watt heater. This would run perfectly well off of the Jackery. These are very highly rated. And we also bought a thermostat plug. So the thermostat plug we would hang away from the heater, away from the Jackery, and this would allow us to get just to take the sting off as far as the cold goes. That's what we got that for. We added this toilet. This is a cassette toilet, just for urination. You know, we drink a lot of water because we're athletes, and you got to pee a lot, and that's a problem, having to pee so much. So yeah, that's real great there. But I designed the beds here. You can see where these are 25 by 75 inch trifold mattresses, and I designed these so that our dog could sleep in between here should it get cold, or if we have to get up in the middle of the night with this bed slid out like this, and her bed slid out like this, just like this. Should we need to get up and either one of us use the toilet in the middle of the night, this is why I'm too tall to sleep east to west in this and have to sleep north to south. But this allowed me to get up here, and actually if I need to, I could use the toilet in the middle of the night, and so could Joelle. So that's why this is a split bed, not sleeping east to west, so if one of us has to get up and go to the bathroom, we wouldn't have to crawl over each other. So one of the other things that I did underneath these beds, I'm kind of hoping that Joelle can get in here to see it, is I built these custom drawers. So what I did with these drawers is I put 1/4 inch thin strips of plywood underneath to lift them off the floor so that they wouldn't collect moisture. But I built these drawers to match the bed. They're perfectly fit underneath here to fit underneath these beds. Each side has its own drawer. This is going to be where we were going to hold our sleepwear and our clothing, among other things, at night. So I also built, and this is another thing that I've added. This is kind of neat. Let me show you this. This is a folding night table. So I mounted this with 3/4 inch stainless steel screws to this wall. These are folding collapsible shelf brackets. I took this piece of 3/4 inch plywood, cut it to my liking. This is a spot for us to put our alarms or our phones at night should we need them. I really thought that this would be handy, and Joelle asked me if I would make that to put it underneath here. And then these just go down just like that, and then it locks into place, but just like that. Real solid. Not going to have any problems with that, but I thought that was really neat. So these come up. One of the reasons that we wanted to have a futon style setup is because we have a YouTube channel, and part of the reason we're taking this trip is to spend a year trying to build the YouTube channel, is what we were going to try to do. And because we've done the van life thing and we've been out on the road for 9 to 10 weeks at a time, we know how volatile the weather can be, and there have been many times where we've been out and we've had to sit in the van. Well, we wanted to be comfortable when we were sitting in here, so the way I designed these, I designed them so that I could sit at 6'2". I could sit comfortably, and my head just barely touches the top of this roof line here, and when I sit back, it doesn't catch the crossbar the way that I designed it. So we can sit and we can watch TV, we could sit and we have a little table here, we could play cards if we wanted to, and that was something that we wanted to make the trip in the box as comfortable as possible. And so I designed and built these sliding custom beds for that reason. They're 1/2 inch plywood tops made out of 2x3s, as well as 3/4 inch plywood for the legs. And I Velcroed them down so that I had to Velcro them on. See there? I Velcroed them on because the mattresses were sliding off. So I put Velcro on. And I used nylon strap. I didn't use piano hinges. I used a nylon strap instead with stainless steel screws, fabric screws, to hold these on because they're so much more forgiving than a piano hinge, and it makes it fold up and go down beautifully. So I've got one of these here and I've got one of those there. Again, an idea that I stole from a YouTuber, not anything that I came up with. I'm just not that smart. Really not. But that Velcroing it down made all the difference in the world. So I think our last addition is this little vacuum. I actually Velcroed it, and the Velcro glue is coming off, but I Velcroed this little vacuum to the wall. This thing's great. I love it. These are really cool. This company is a private company, small company, and I'm going to put a link again in the description below because I think that they're great what they're doing. This actually is made for the passive vent here, right here, and it covers that up and insulates it. There have been places where Joel and I have gone where it's gotten down into the high teens, low 20s, and I wouldn't want that cold air dripping in here too much. So I put this up here. It's held up by magnets. It's all part of their installation guide. They show you how to put it together, but that just stops the air from coming through. This does have the ability to close this off at night, but this is more insulated, and I thought that that was a pretty good idea. Kind of defeats the purpose of the not helping to cut down on condensation, which is common in these units, but nevertheless, I thought that that was a really neat thing as well. Last thing that I did, I reached out to a fellow Range Runner owner who put together a YouTube channel for his modifications, and I thought these things were genius. These are door magnets, or they're magnets, and they're very sturdy magnets, and I used 3M, the black 3M double-sided tape. I did not screw in here or here to put these on. That 3M black tape, it's like cement when it sets up and holds. But I like that. I liked having those magnets on the door because the wind was constantly blowing them shut or halfway closed, and I thought that that was a great trick. I think that was really cool. That's going to pretty much conclude our Range Runner tour of what we were going to do before we decided to sell this thing in pursuit of a larger couples camper. But hey, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you have any comments or any suggestions, by all means, we would love it if you would leave those in the comment section below. Of course, we would love to have you as a subscriber. And if you found this video helpful, again, a thumbs up would be really great. I know that the Italian princess would appreciate it. But again, you want to follow us shortly. We're going to be hitting the road and traveling across America in a camper as soon as our house is sold, to do nothing but video and well, photography and sharing life stories. So visit us at my website, livingwithrob.com. That's livingwithrob.com to see my photography, some of my writings, and some of these other nonsensical things that we're doing. And I guess that's going to be about it for today. Until the next one, I am Rob.
Joel.
Yeah, the Joel.
Anthony.
Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you in the next one.